God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this? That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadence, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait. I've got an idea.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Nerdrotic.com.
That was very sudden, and then it restarted, and then it ended suddenly again. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. Everybody loves a nooner, and this one's pretty damn close to noon here, Central Time, the real time zone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still recovering from the Pacific time zone. Right. I briefly revisited. It took me months to get over that. That was weird. My clock was when I moved from California to Texas, my clock was all effed up for like 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Strange, but nobody cares because we're here to talk about pop culture. We're here to talk about Star Hers and the MCU. We got a couple of trailers today. One, a direct sequel to Captain Marvel that doesn't have Captain Marvel, but the sequel to Captain Marvel, what comes out later this year, has nothing to do with this direct sequel to the Captain Marvel movie. And also in the sequel to the Captain Marvel movie, Captain Marvel was demoted in her own sequel. Did you keep track of all that? You should.
I don't know.
But hey, what's up, Your Honor?
Exactly.
Frank Gore.
Gary, great to be here for the Nooner. Can't wait to talk these trailers that just dropped this morning. Going to be a lot of fun.
Totally planned.
I'm going to see you tomorrow. I will be in Dallas. I'm hopping on a red eye tonight out of LA. I'm going to go check out the new Transformers movie. Then I'm on the red eye, and I will be at the meetup tomorrow, the FNT meetup in Dallas. I'll be there.
I am really excited. I will be there tomorrow as well. Ryan might be in Dallas already. There are people who are in Dallas already.
Well, there you go.
Around doing their thing, whatever they're doing. But I'll be there tomorrow. So I'm going to drive up early in the morning because I got work to do. There's things to do. Oh, plus I got to pack, which I I basically didn't unpack from Contact in the Desert, just kept all my equipment, but I have to add much more because we're doing a live show on Friday from our place. Well, most of the crew will be there. Well, a good chunk of the crew will be there, including
people.
Excellent. Oh, Chris will be there too.
Chris, but yeah, I'm going to be there as well. I'm so excited. This is my first time in Dallas as an adult. I have no idea what to expect, but I want to get some cowboy boots, a hat, and go to Buc-ee's. Those are the 3 things I need to do while I'm there. Everything else is a cherry on top.
Right on. We'll go to Buc-ee's. We'll I guess we should do a caravan to a Buc-ee's and do a video or something. The citadel of capitalism, the foundation of free market Buc-ee's. Yes. I mean, now we got people like Fort Worth is better than Dallas, and Irving is better than Dallas, and Frisco is like, I don't know about all your gang rivalries up there. I'm just up there to meet with the fellowship. But Buc-ee's is overrated. You're overrated. No, I'm just kidding. How dare you say that? How dare you say that?
Don't hate on a good store.
Be careful. Be careful, Gary. You don't want to film your late night musings in your backyard by your pool and have a meltdown. Just be careful that you don't do that.
That I don't have a meltdown?
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
Oh no.
Oh?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because remember what we talked about in Pasadena when we were hanging out?
Yes. I do.
We did it. So
okay, cool.
Pay attention to Friday Night Tights this week.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, that's when we were taking our band photos.
Yes.
So, oh my God.
Yes. Wow. You asked me last night, are we still doing Nooner? I'm all, yeah, I'll be home. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. And then 2 trailers dropped today.
Dude, I can't wait for you to see them. I cannot wait for you to see them.
But we need to start out. The Iron Sheik has passed.
Oh, man.
Great Iron Sheik at the age of 81. To any wrestling fans out there, the Iron Sheik passed away today. Rest in peace to one of the greatest heels of all time, from Matt Faxine. I'm going to say it like Faxine because it's Canadian. So I'm going to assume it's French. For 11 Canadian pesos. Thank you. And rest in peace, Iron Sheik. Rest in peace. He was awesome. He was an awesome bad guy. Loved him. Chris, get rid of the avatar. We love the disheveled Chris, says John Yarbo for $5. I think it should be Judge Chris. I think that should be the avatar.
Should I change it to my judge? Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Or what about Your Honor?
Your Honor.
Yeah. All right.
Chris.
I can fix all that.
Your Honor.
With an OU.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
You look very serious. You're in serious reflection.
You're right.
You're deliberating.
Just before you deliberate and pass your judgment. Pass your sentence. Listen, the bitch is guilty. Okay? I don't mean to poison the trial, but she's guilty. And she is guilty of crimes against the imagination. And she should never be allowed to make anything ever. And everything she did before should be put into question. I'd seriously question, was it Frank Marshall? Was she just getting coffee? I don't know. I don't know.
Have you heard that clip of Steven Spielberg talking about working with Kathleen Kennedy?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just so people in the chat, you can look this up. It's an audio clip of Spielberg talking about it's he and George Lucas were just coming up with ideas for Indiana Jones. Just ideas. And Kathleen Kennedy was there, and she was supposed to take notes. She was effectively the secretary taking notes. And she would suggest ideas, and they were all terrible ideas. They were all just bad ideas. And that to me, like knowing that, it's like, oh, so all those years she was kind of sidelined as like, she's not creative. She's more of a secretary, more of like, and look, proved herself very good at, I'll let you know. I dated a girl years ago who was one of her 2 secretaries, and said that she was very, very good at scheduling. That was like the thing she was excellent at. And so all those years she kind of stood on the sidelines, and then now in a position of power to actually influence things creatively, and come to discover that many of the ideas are just not very good ideas. And the choice is maybe to put certain people in positions of power to do things creatively may not have been the best choices, or motivated by, motivated by making the best product. I mean, in particular, I'm thinking about the director of the upcoming Rey movie, which I predict will not happen. That director, what has she ever done in the past qualifies her to make a Star Wars film, a 10th effectively movie, a sequel to the sequels, so to speak. Nothing that person has done at all. It's all about identity politics, that particular hire. And it's sort of disheartening that this is kind of where we're at, that's such disrespect for the franchise, that they take a woman who's she's done work in the industry, and that's fine, but nothing that would indicate like, let's put that person in charge of a Star Wars film. It just shows like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you put in that position. It's all about promotion and whatnot. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
Exactly.
It's not nepotism that goes. I mean, it's like once you get into your little cabal, there's a lot of people with zero talent who make a lot of money in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, I'd say it's the vast majority. It's middle management. It's what we used to call in the drug world a sponge. A sponge, somebody who sponges on, who makes themselves very available to the drug dealers so they can get free drugs. Same thing happens in Hollywood. A lot of sponges. I think Kathleen Kennedy was a sponge. Yeah, her name was on she took credit for a lot of things, but creatively, well, I mean, we've seen it. She's been in charge of Star Wars for over a decade now, And she's managed to chart out a couple of mediocre things. And the rest is forgettable garbage to like some of the worst stuff ever made. And after this epic fucking failure that many of us have been, I mean, some people were, many were talking before I even got involved, around The Force Awakens. It's been clear to us for years, at least let's be nice. 5 years. 5 years we've been essentially going, this thing's trash. It's not going anywhere. It's going to cost you money. You have left billions on the table. And Disney did not buy Star Wars to eke out profits on a fledgling streaming service with a live action Rebels. That's not why they fucking bought Star Wars. They bought Star Wars as a cinematic franchise to pump out, trilogies every few years that make billions upon billions that you can make even more on in merchandising. But now we just find out it's run by morons. So
exactly,
like people like now the financiers, the most clueless people of them all, the ones who pay for everything, who control a lot of people's 401ks and a lot of people's money, who don't watch this stuff, don't understand this, just thought it was like a gold mine. And you know what? It was. You just fucked it up. It's like finding a gold mine and then you like blew up the entrance. That you just like, and you can't, like, what the fuck? And that's what they did. Now they're going, Lucasfilm seems to have lost its luster. And what's keeping the course correction from happening is you being Hollywood vilified your audience for so long that now if you make a course correction, you're going to look like you're catering to the far alt-right, which never were that. They were just your paying customers. They were your fans. They were the people who made this thing popular in the first place. And now they can't do it. And I'm beyond caring at this point. I'm like, I am way more satisfied by watching it completely fail. And that's the only way people learn, when you hit rock fucking bottom. And Hollywood and Disney are well on their way to doing that. So I found like it's Spielberg, it's somebody reading Spielberg's like quote.
Oh, really? I thought okay.
Yeah. It's
I heard a clip of Spielberg.
I thought
But
it
it's
was
like a piece of it. Yeah. That
but
might be
it's from Jar Jar Abrams channel,
right.
Want to give him props, want to give him credit. Here we go.
She made her way to Los Angeles and landed a job as a secretary for notorious screenwriter John Milius. At the time, Milius was executive producing Steven Spielberg's movie 1941. Spielberg says he was so impressed with her organizing skills that he asked her to be his secretary.
I remember Kathy came into the room with her steno pad and her pencil, and she was horrible at taking notes, and she was terrible, and she didn't really know how to do it very well. But what she did know how to do was interrupt somebody in mid-sentence. We'd be pitching ideas back and forth, and Kathy, who's supposed to be writing these ideas down, suddenly put her pencil down and would say something like, and what if he didn't get the girl, but instead he got the dog?
That's the quote. That's what that is Spielberg.
Yep. So they did a little lead up there. That's good.
Right. Put it in context.
They put it in context. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that tells you everything you need to know about her contribution creatively to Star Wars, in addition to like hiring and firing directors and lots of announced projects that don't happen. That's why these 3 announced projects recently at Star Wars Celebration, I don't see any of them with the exception of maybe the Dave Filoni thing, which will not be released in theaters because it's too expensive to make a theatrical film and put all the marketing support to get it out. So it's going to be a Disney Plus event. It'll be a movie or maybe a limited series that is going to put the cap on all the Disney Plus shows that have been going. It's going to be the conclusion of The Mandalorian and Boba Fett and Ahsoka and everything that's sort of in that time period this will be the climactic ending. I think that may happen. It'll be on Disney Plus. It's not going to be a theatrical film because
I agree.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if none of these projects happen at all.
Yes. And James Mangold, after Indiana Jones comes out and tanks, which I predict it will, I don't think it's not exactly a radical opinion. I mean, the reviews have been terrible. When that tanks, he's going to be in director's jail, which happens with any major director. When they make a big movie that by all accounts should succeed and it doesn't, that person generally doesn't work for a while. J.J. Abrams hasn't made a movie since 2019, 4 years ago, when The Rise of Skywalker came out. And I would argue, Gary, maybe you have a different opinion about this. The fandom for Star Wars became united in their hate for that film.
For different reasons, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like
for completely different reasons. Like the Last Jedi fans will just read into it as retconning Last Jedi, which it kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
But Luke Skywalker was still dead and still a fucking moron. And that was the only thing I was like, all right, bring like in some stupid way, bring him back to life, and you can redeem yourself. Of course they didn't. So yeah, you're right. And what Rian Johnson is doing his strong suit. He's impressing public broadcasting viewers and convincing them he is smart. So he's basically convincing dumb people that he's smart, but he's not. So that's his wheelhouse, man. That's where he belongs. And he's got his niche, and I hope he makes lots of money. Yay, capitalism. But you're right. As far as James Mangold and like Indy's going to be a disaster, dude. It's going to be a giant disaster. And the only thing that's Warner Brothers is lying about the Flash budget, by the way. They're straight up fucking lying. They are lying. It is the most expensive movie ever made. It is more expensive than Indiana Jones. It is.
Wow.
It is. So they're just flat out fucking lying to save face. That's all they're doing. And I got that from a good source, so I'll just leave it there. I'll tell you later. I'll
Ooh.
tell you who I
Ooh, I
got.
want to know.
I'll tell you in the private,
Thank
but yeah, it's like they're fucking lying. But like Indiana Jones is really close, and I also believe that the Rise of Skywalker, which was massively reshot, it cost way more to make than it was reported. Upwards of, I'll be nice, $400 million.
Jesus,
because they reshot a lot of stuff. But you know, it's just going nowhere. Disney's going nowhere. In the beginning, you understand, like, hey, actors are not going to be in a role forever. We need to pass the torch. But what happened was you let too many activist cooks in the kitchen, and that torch got dropped. And for years now, they have to like pause this stuff. They have to pause Marvel. They have to pause Star Wars. It's the only way to save it for the future. If they keep going, this thing is going to be done. There'll always be some fans, but like if you're playing to the, like, basically you're making a live action Rebels show, dude,
right?
That is sad. That is sad. Go look at the ratings for Rebels. Okay. You think that's going to fill fucking theaters, which is what they wanted? Let's take a look. You know what? Since we're talking about Star Wars, might as well.
Ooh,
the Ahsoka trailer. Could you get that up there, X-Ray girl? Sorry to disturb you from your other duties. Duty.
Hey, you said duty.
There's another trailer out too that we're gonna check out. And then later on in the show, we're gonna talk about that Flash spoiler because it's out there.
It's on
way out there.
Disney
We'll give you a
Plus,
warning.
I think. Okay.
We'll give you a fair warning, and it'll be towards the end of the show. Chris, we heard about it yesterday from a little birdie.
Yeah.
we heard about that spoiler. I could not believe. I was like, what? All right, so waiting for Chris to come back from the bathroom.
Oh, I'm just grabbing coffee.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Second cup of the day.
Sure, you're getting coffee.
As long as you mute. If you bring us in the bathroom with you.
Sure, that tinkle sound we heard was coffee. Okay.
It was coffee. It literally made a new cup. Okay. All right.
Look, it's X-Wings. X-Wings. It's the Star Wars, everyone. It's the Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I love all the Star Wars.
All right, let's go.
It's been a while. Things have changed. I started hearing whispers.
Oh, wait, stop.
About Thrawn's return.
What the fuck is with this music? This is Star Wars. Oh, it's not. It's not. They've got like a Russian doll trailer, Hulu fucking exclusive fucking show music going on in the background. Like Picard season 3, the first thing they figured out is like, we should put Star Trek music in the Star Trek show. I'm a genius. You know, it's, oh God. So yeah, you got this like typical basic bitch violin trailer stuff with like every time they change the scene, it goes poof, poof. So fucking sick of that. Stop it. Trailer houses, stop it. Do something original. Rewind it a little bit.
They should call it X-Wings because there's
X-Wings.
No here.
Look at X-Ray girl. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Whispers about Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Wait a minute. Can you pause for a second? Did all the men die in Order 66? They just killed the dudes. Oh, can we go? Is there any guys in this?
We can pan through this.
Is there any dudes in this trailer?
This guy here?
Oh, there's a guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's
There's a
not
male.
real.
And there was the back.
He's small.
He's very small. And he looks like a beta. Okay, so we got.
Oh, here.
Oh, there's a dude. Okay, good.
This might be a dude. We don't know.
We don't know. But definitely. Oh, well, there's a guy. Thrawn. They're bringing back Thrawn, and they're going to give Ahsoka Luke Skywalker's story. How do you feel about that, Star Wars fans? Yeah, it's all about. Yeah, it's Star Hers. Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. Jedi. She's not a Jedi. Whoa. When did she become a Jedi? Anyone? I mean, like, it's been years since I've watched Rebels, and I'll never watch it again. Did they make her officially a Jedi? I don't seem to recall that happening. Did it happen in a comic? Tuesday? Maybe she became a Jedi on Tuesday. Yeah. You know what? Ahsoka would have been a great, she annoyed the shit out of me at first, right? But if they would have killed her, if Darth Vader would have killed her, that would have made her a great character. You know why they didn't do that, though, Chris? Before you start, you know why they didn't do that? Because they didn't want to fridge her. That's exactly why they didn't. Intersectional feminism, modernism. The fucking 5 SJWs on Twitter and the entire staff, which is SJWs at Lucasfilm, will go, we're not going to fridge Ahsoka for Darth Vader.
I don't know why Darth Vader didn't Reva her and just stab her in the chest with a lightsaber and then she lived. They could have had it both ways. Darth Vader killed her, but then she survived. So.
See, Reva, if Obi-Wan would have killed Reva at the end of Obi-Wan, that would have made her character make sense. It would have actually made sense, and it would have that would have made sense for Kenobi too. It's like, well, you know something you shouldn't know. Sorry, caught her off with her head. That's what should have happened. But this is the Disney-fying of Star Wars. I need to find the article, Chris. I need to find the article because you and I both know that we read it back when Disney bought Star Wars in 2012, that they intentionally did it to bring more boys and men to their girl brand. They didn't say girl brand, but to their brand, because they're a girl brand. They're a girl brand. And they intentionally shit on a John Carter, which is not perfect, but I like John Carter.
I do too.
I like that movie. I do. And they shit canned it because they knew they were going to buy Star Wars because they, and honestly, the two things Disney did on their own, Tron Legacy and John Carter, were not perfect films, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them both. Like out they're going, it was all right. I think they were on their way to doing something. And then they said, oh, we'll just buy our way into success. And well, there's you can't buy your way in Hollywood. That is a old saying. Many have tried to buy their way in the Hollywood. You still got to be good. And Disney's not. I like John Carter. Oh God, I just don't want to. Okay, let's look at the Ahsoka show. Sorry. Go on.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Oh, okay.
Ahsoka, original series.
Pause. That is the line that ends your trailer, Chris.
Yeah.
Your Honor, what do you think of that statement? Perhaps it's time to begin again.
It's basically wiping out the past, right? Begin again, because we're just going to rewrite it. Okay. Quick thoughts on this. One, look, I'm all about, they're great female characters in Star Wars. But I don't think Star Wars is great with all men or all women. This looks like the all-female Star Wars show, which, okay. But the thing that can, and that I'm fine, who knows, could be good. I like some of the actresses. But I'll say this, the look of it looks like cosplay. One of the things that made Star Wars revolutionary was the fact that it looked like a lived-in world. That had previously never been done. Science fiction was always clean. If you look at everything from 2001: A Space Odyssey to Logan's Run to Forbidden Planet, I know, old movies, but science fiction was always a clean, beautiful looking future. Star Wars was there's some things in this world, but it's lived in. It's like going to a flea market, dusty, dirty, the Jawas, just everything. That made it revolutionary. This looks like a cosplay photo shoot. Every scene where all the clothes are perfect, the world looks perfect, and it just looks too clean. You know what it looks like? It looks like freaking Galaxy's Edge is what this show looks like. It looks like a cosplay shoot at Galaxy's Edge with too perfect clothing, too perfect makeup, and a world that's just too clean. So this is why I'm concerned. Paul Cheto had made a really interesting point about Star Wars and why it needs at least a more balanced or more of a male voice. Men love gear and tech. They just do.
Yes.
Men love gear. And by gear, Star Wars was very influenced by George Lucas's obsession with racing cars and working on cars. And anyone that knows who's ever worked on a car, it's dirty. Your hands get you have to use like a special kind of soap to get like the black oil off your hands. Like that's just, you wear a coverall over your regular clothes to get crap all over it. Like it's dirty, it's gross. And it's also really fun. And having that kind of brain, go back and watch the original Star Wars. And you pointed this out.
Yeah, I'm
Gary.
pretty sure I'm going to get cancer from the stuff I've had to wash my hands with.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's that, what do they call that? I always forget. I would buy little jars of it.
It's brain farting. It's been
Right.
a few years.
Lava liquid?
No,
but it's something else.
Basically petroleum based. It's like
It's like a petroleum jelly. You wipe it on your hands and the grease comes off at least easier. You still got it under your fingernails. Anyways, like that lived in this, that sort of gear, like obsession with. I mean, the Millennium Falcon is a character in the original Star Wars, right? The first film.
Well, there's because there's Gojo and Fast Orange, which we used to use.
Yeah.
There was another one that was way worse. It was
I remember the smell.
It was like, oh God, help me, chat. It was like turpentine. It was like it was bad. But yeah, we like orange, like the orange stuff we use. But damn, I can't remember it. But it's been a couple decades.
But
it was bad though, and I'm probably going to die from it.
Yeah, you and me both. But it's that attention to detail. And there's so many things you can look at from that first Star Wars movie in Empire that, man, just that attention to detail. And you're not seeing it here. You're seeing this perfect thing, perfect, looking costumes. Even the shot where Ahsoka goes out the front of that glass window and, on the whatever ship she's on, just something about it just looks too perfect. So look, it's just a glimpse. We saw 30 seconds. There was a longer trailer that premiered during Star Wars Celebration. This is to announce the date, which is, what did it say at the end? August? Was it August 23rd? So those are my thoughts. Are just like, it looks like, and because by the way, and just to, I am sending out a compliment out there to some of the better cosplayers that are out there. The attention to detail is crazy, but it's usually not lived in. It's like a perfect version of a costume, right?
Yeah, the better cosplayers will do that. But you don't want me to go on my cosplaying rant again, because I'll piss off a bunch of cosplayers. And I don't.
Okay.
Especially when I'm going to a con this weekend that's got a bunch of cosplayers. But yeah, not the biggest fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Just do your thing, whatever. But I think the true blue nerd cosplayers who get creative and make like giant Galactuses and stuff, that's fucking rad. That's cool. I'm talking about the strippers who dress up, who don't know Captain America from Captain Marvel on DC side. That's the cosplayers I have a problem with. Okay. The little thought cosplayers. Okay.
Gary, I would say they're welcome. I don't mind them. They can celebrate fandom all they want. And I don't mind that element.
I think it invited in a bunch of people who were never going to be about fandom. If you became a fan after that, great. But it invited in a lot of people who were just never about fandom, brought in a lot of other shit. And then we started hearing cosplay isn't consent.
Oh,
shit
yeah,
like that. That's the kind of people I'm talking about. Because people used to know how to have fun. And then, especially when it's nerds being around nerds, people who have some knowledge of the culture, and then you bring in posers, basically,
Yeah.
Which again, if you become nerds after that, you're like a beginning nerd. That's fine. But if you were just there to get some attention, and then you found it's easier to get attention by saying cosplay's not consent, get fucked. That's what I have to say. I think it's ruined fandom in a lot of ways. Okay. That was a terrible trailer, Ahsoka. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of that character. I didn't mind her before, but now, like, and you mentioned there's like good actresses in this. Like, I don't think that saves stuff. Like, we've seen good, like James Mangold, good director. You go to Lucasfilm, and that gets lost, and you have to do things the Disney way, and that's been the biggest problem. There's been this, I think, myth out there that Disney let their subsidiaries run autonomously. I think they were run autonomously as long as they did what Disney wants in a very specific Disney way. Because Marvel completely changed almost the second Disney bought them. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but they did. They started getting away from certain things, like Marvel Now creeped in, and Captain America was not really being Captain America anymore. And like Spider-Man got really fucking lame. I don't think that's an accident. I think that was fitting things into the Disney box. And the same thing happened with Star Wars. They don't know, they don't care. And they're very, that's kind of been their problem. They don't work well with others. They haven't in the past. That's always been their problem. And that's why they can't get past being too big to succeed. Too big to succeed. They've got too many rules. They're held down by too many activists. They're too fucking big now. And they've been shitting out Star Wars for 5 years. It's been garbage. It's been hot garbage. And there's no sign of change. We just had a Star Wars celebration where they talked about the fucking acolyte for hours. That's going to save it. Former Harvey Weinstein assistant Leslie Headland's going to bring it around. I don't even care. It's going to fade away. It's just going to fade away. And it's in the process right now. Chris will put a stake in the heart of Star Wars once the trial is over.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, what's left of it, the burnt out husk of a heart. It's kind of like after you kill the vampire, and you have to make sure the stake is still in its chest, and you have to bury it a certain way. That's kind of what we have to do with Disney Star Wars. Missed Wolf TR for 500 Czechoslovakian pesos. Thank you very much. With the release of Indiana Jones, the death of Lucasfilm will be complete. There is nothing left. The corpse of Star Wars will be moving for a few years, and that will be it. Nobody watched Rebels. Nobody watched this Rebels sequels Mando spinoff. And nobody, if they were confident about this, Chris, they put it in the theater.
Yes.
I think really simple as that. If they were confident about any of this stuff, it'd be a movie. If they were confident like Ahsoka is like the future, then you make an Ahsoka trilogy. But you don't dump it on Disney Plus. I don't know. I don't know. Does Ahsoka excite you, Chris?
I'm interested in seeing what they do with Thrawn, or how actually this connects to Heir to the Empire, or how much of it they lift. I feel like I want to go back and read those books again. But yeah, I'm not excited about it. Like after Kenobi was sort of like the last thing of like, well, this could be good, right? Like Ewan McGregor coming back, Hayden Christensen coming back. Hope they don't, hope they avoid the temptation to break canon, and like Kenobi was so bad to me. Kenobi was the last thing for me. That was it. And then no matter how good Andor was, it just wasn't going to change my mind. That's what kind of led to this whole idea of a trial, because so many people feel similarly, you know? So yeah, Kenobi. In fact, what's funny is I saw a movie recently. The young girl who played Leia in the ObiWan Kenobi series is terrible in that series. She's incredible in a movie that just came out this past weekend called The Boogeyman. It's like a completely different actress. I didn't even recognize it. Alan Ing had to mention to me, you know, that's the same actress from Kenobi, right? And I couldn't believe it because she's so bad. It shows you like directing children is like, you really need to.
Yeah.
That's difficult. There are directors good at it. And then there's the director of Kenobi. But the guy who did, we actually had him on the show on Film Threat. We'll do interviews with filmmakers, but he came on and oh my God, she just nailed it. Or I didn't even know it was her, not even recognizable as the same actress.
But she looked
serious, really good.
Well, as Kenobi said, you won't be 10 years old forever.
Oh no. Yeah, that's what a dumb, like, who is making these decisions? It doesn't say, so Leia's not going to mention that they knew each other. Like there was a way to do Kenobi that would have fit with the lead up to Star Wars that would have been epic. It could have been such a good story. It could have been Darth Vader saying something along the lines of, if you leave this world, if you leave Tatooine, where my mother died, I will destroy you. If you leave this planet. Basically justify, like he basically, Darth Vader defeats him, or in some way they have a confrontation. Doesn't need to be a physical confrontation with lightsabers. There need to be words exchanged that just say, you leave this planet, I'll kill you. And then he did it. So there's so many ways it could have been better. Leia should not have been a part of it. I don't even know if Luke should have been in it. I mean, maybe from afar, you know, but whatever. What a colossal disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know what the hell, they don't really have anything else to go back to. That's why they're going to rip air from the Empire. And maybe that's what the begin again. Actually, at the end of that trailer again, they said maybe it's time to begin again. And they end it with a droid saying that. So they really wanted that line to be out there, but it more accurately would be, it's time to begin again. That would be probably a more appropriate line. This is like, never ever forget, prequel fans, that Disney came out the gate smacking George. The first line in The Force Awakens, this will begin to make things right.
Yeah.
That was specifically put in there. You know, we all thought, I think the vast majority of people thought Disney would do all right. We were sweet summer children back then. We were. Some of us found out sooner than others. And now the people who actually fund these morons are starting to question it because they're not making any money. I wish it was for other reasons, but it's because they're not making any money. And we told them they were going to stop making money, despite all of the little Disney Star Wars stands out there going, it's doing great. Everything's fine. You're just a hater. Shit. Humility is a good thing, especially during Pride Month. Try a little humility and just, apologize to a lot of people. I don't need one. I personally don't need an apology, but there's a lot of fans out there who took a lot of shit for just going, don't like what you did to Luke. Don't like what you did to Han. And now it's out there, and it's without question, has been without question, in my opinion, for a long time. I just, I'm looking on Twitter right now. I feel bad for, channels who were dedicated to Star Wars, who are dedicated Star Wars fans and didn't want any part of this crap. And don't put all your eggs in one basket if you're going to start a channel. Just saying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Damn, it's dead. It's dead. And it's been dead. It's been dead. And like I said, we know who the guilty party is, but we have to, we are a country of rules and laws. And we have a fair trial going on, in my opinion. And if you guys don't come up with a guilty verdict, I'm gonna loot a Target. I'm just telling you right now.
It's funny the sort of like the people that have come on the defense on the Critics Court show, they basically sort of argue the weasel words or the minutia of the actual words of the count, right? Without actually the substance of the argument. So although I'm pretty certain that Critical Drinker is actually going to be on the show today for the prosecution, and we have a star witness coming on. Might be a George Lucas impersonator, you don't know, but it's going to be a fun show today. I can't wait. I always love hearing like how the defense is like, and believe me, I have reached out to some major YouTubers out there who have defended Disney Star Wars. They're all afraid to come on this show.
Why?
The amount of excuses, I don't want to call out any specific names, but people that are just, that have defended Disney Star Wars, but they don't want to, here's the thing, they don't want to have the debate. They don't want to have the discussion. And that to me is a little disheartening. Really disheartening.
Maybe because they don't believe in it. Maybe they just wanted to be contrarian. Maybe they politically didn't want to agree with certain people. And they just
maybe they defended it and they didn't even watch it themselves.
Maybe.
Who knows? I'm just sort of annoyed that it's like, here's our chance to let's just debate. I mean, that's the fun thing also about just geek culture in general. Gary, as someone who, I don't know if I used to own a comic book store, and I don't know if you've ever talked about it on the show.
Never.
But one of the best parts, I don't go to a comic book store to buy comic books. I go there to have conversations with other nerds and to debate things. I love that. That's the best part about going to buy comics at a physical location, is other people are there. You will get into conversations. It's just organically, it just happens. And so I wanted to try to recreate that kind of environment. Like, let's debate it. Let's talk about it, defend it. And the fact that so few are willing to step up, that's very telling.
Yeah.
Very telling.
And with Star Wars, I think there's just like there's fixed points of destruction, I will call them. Like fixed points in time. There's fixed points of destruction. Killing Han, degrading Luke to elevate Rey, not putting Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together. That alone is absolute just utter incompetence and some of the biggest failures in Hollywood. One of them, in my opinion, being the biggest creative failure in Hollywood, is you were given an opportunity to do something that was just fucking duh. It was easy, and they specifically didn't do it to basically clickbait you into watching this fucking trilogy. And I'm positive this was a Jar Jar Abrams decision, is to let's focus on each character, each movie. And that's how he sold it. But it really was, let's fucking kill and destroy each character, each movie. And by the end, our characters are so rad, nobody will care. They really thought that. Like Jar Jar was sniffing a lot of his own farts. I think he's come down to earth now. You mentioned he hasn't directed a movie. He got a lot of money and he had a lot of power, and he doesn't anymore. So you could take credit for that, fandom. You brought that fraud down by just pointing out his work. That's it. Just pointing out what he's done and using his own words, his TED Talk. The fucker did a TED Talk about Mystery Box, and his TED Talk about Mystery Box had about as much substance as any of his fucking story, which is hilarious because his TED Talk didn't say anything. By the end of it, it's like, oh, we just make shit up as we go. Go watch his TED Talk. And I'm like, oh, this is just like a Jar Jar Abrams story. You know what he's really good at? Bullshit. He's really good at bullshitting people, which can take you pretty far in Hollywood, but eventually you got to deliver. Right. And it's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. And once I started sensing something off about that guy once, I saw him bailing from project. Like he bailed on Alias to go to Lost. He bailed on Lost to go to Star Trek. He bailed on Star Trek to go to Star Wars. I mean, he's like, it's a pattern. He doesn't like to finish stuff. Poor Mrs. Abrams. But that he just can't finish.
Yeah, that's this. I don't know why it's not talked about. It's sort of what disappoints me about our current state of the media. We can't be honest. We can't be honest about why certain problems exist so that we can actually identify the problem to solve the problem. And in a lot of instances, and this is true in many categories, solving the problem is the furthest thing from anyone's mind. Because to do that is there's disadvantages to solving a problem,
Yes,
and I
there
feel
is.
like,
including admitting you fucked up. That's a bit of a disadvantage. Something Hollywood does not like to do. And sorry to interrupt you because you're in a good role.
No, please.
But like that's something Hollywood is going to have to come to terms with. Companies are going to have to come to terms in this new era. Bud Light has a great opportunity to come out and go, we fucked up. We fucked up. And you're going to get a bunch of heat from the LGBTQ plus community. And you're going to find out that it's meaningless heat. Like if you came out and apologized, you might get some of your fans back. This goes right back to the dead franchise thing. Doctor Who, it's going to get some people back by bringing Tennant back for a minute, but it's not going to get everybody back. It's not even a close. Picard season 3, pretty damn good. Liked it. Did it get everybody back? Fuck no. Hell no. Are the people who enjoyed Picard season 3 going to sit down and get ready for Strange New Worlds? Fuck no. I'm not going to watch a second of that garbage. But it's really difficult to fandom is a good place, but you shit on them for long enough, they will be done with you forever. And the same goes with the paying customer. Same goes with just a regular person. Sorry, Chris. They're going to have to discover humility again. Humility is going to be a key word here, and they just can't.
Yeah, humility.
It would be good. Oh my God! If a company came out and said, if Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, Chris,
right,
Frank, if Kathleen Kennedy gets fired, Frank Gore, and somebody else comes in and says, hard reset. This has been a disaster for the last 10 years, and we apologize. We divided our fan base. This is antithetical to everything George created. If somebody came out there and it was genuine, like a Tom Cruise, thank you, except a real apology to the fans, to all the fans, and not just a group, all of them, going, we did this. We divided you. We fucked up. We want to start over. A lot of people would give him another chance. It would. It'll never fucking happen. In a million years. It'll never happen. But that's what they're going to need to do. But pride comes before the fall, dude. That's what happens. You just get more prideful, and then you fucking fall on your fucking face. That's what Hollywood does. And that's what we're seeing with Disney. And I honestly didn't think it would get this bad this quick. I thought we'd get a couple more years of this stuff, but woo, it's accelerated, Chris. It's accelerated.
It has for sure. So, dude, yeah, to me, the American public is very forgiving when people make mistakes, especially if they, when it comes to a company, just apologizes in a way that seems genuine, right? Mm-hmm. I brought this up before. I don't know if you recall Domino's Pizza. You can find this commercial. Domino's Pizza did a campaign where they admitted their pizza's not very good.
Yeah.
And they changed the formula. So in this campaign, they said, look, they didn't actually say this. I think that Domino's Pizza is pretty much like pizza for drunk college kids. I have enjoyed it in the past.
Oh, yeah. Or really fucking stoned people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stoned people in college. But they did a commercial said, our pizza's not great. We're going to improve the formula. Here's what we're doing. They actually showed how they changed the sauce, how they do the cheese, like everything else. And we're making better pizza. But admitting that and then also addressing it, amazing. And I feel like what's what's bizarre is that no other industry acts so arrogantly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Hollywood in general. I mean, it's arrogance. You got to have a certain amount of confidence to make it in there. But then there's the false arrogance of like, it is like Amazon's the Rings of Power, dude. Biggest example of this. People fucking hate this thing. It is terrible. It is objectively awful garbage. And you are motoring ahead. You know, writer's strike. You had one job, get the Rings of Power shut down, and you couldn't do it. Fuck. They completed filming, by the way, a couple days ago. Sorry to say for Amazon that you will be getting a season 2 and you will regret it. You will regret it. You should have just pulled the plug. You're going to like flush $500 million down the toilet. That's what you're doing. But they just refuse to see it. They're going to motor along, you know, with no real changes. Apparently, there might have been some WGA violations on the set, but I don't think anything's going to come of it.
No.
Amazon's a $1 trillion company, so whatever problems anybody had, they can make that go away. But eventually, things have to make money. Look at Twitch. Twitch is having a bit of a problem right now, isn't it? Little funding problem. Well, aren't they owned by one of the richest companies in the world?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now they're having a bit of a funding problem. Look at Comixology. They fucked that up 3 ways to Sunday. They had a funding problem. You don't think the same thing will happen to Amazon Prime eventually? Like the Prime Video, like all they need to do is just put shit up there to rent. They don't need to make original programming. Maybe 1 or 2 shows. You know, hey, you know, it'd be really good for them right now, Chris. Shows that don't require writers, like Clarkson's Farm, the show that they fucking canceled because somebody said something mean about Meghan Merkel.
Oh, is that why they canceled it?
Yep. And it's a hugely popular show, massively popular show that will probably go to another network immediately once it's done. Probably get rebranded a little bit, but yeah, that would come in handy right about now. By the way, just off topic because I'm a huge Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear Grand Tour fan. Obviously, 9 days till the next Grand Tour episode, folks. 9 days, we get another Grand Tour. Very excited about that. But yeah, the arrogance of Amazon just like motoring ahead when it is obvious. Like an entire cottage industry was built around hating fucking Rings of Power, dude. It created its own economy. It built YouTubers. Disparu is here because the Rings of Power sucked, you know? I know he started with other things, but it built him to prominence and many others, many others. Little Platoon. I think that helped him, great YouTuber as well. So yeah, I'm all down for season 2. I hope they hurry. I hope they like really rush it out because it might be the only thing that comes out next year. That and a lot of reality programming, a lot of offshoots of Skinwalker Ranch and whatever reality thing you watch. We'll have a lot of spinoffs for the next couple of years. I can't remember, Chris. It took 2 years to recover from the strike last time.
Yeah. It's if this, they got to wrap it up quick. If this goes into the fall, yeah, not good. Not good.
Oh, dude, what goes into Chris? Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you, and you might not know. You could say, I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. You can say that to any of my questions because I love you, man. Yeah. But why are the actors striking? I don't even fucking know.
Oh, I don't know. But I know that there is and this is a minor thing. I've heard people talk about this. I don't know if this is a point of contention, but whether you know it or not, a lot of AI is being used and deep fake, but like deep fake with like permission, right? So an actor comes in, they have their face scanned, and then, you know, if they're reshoots, they don't need to bring in the actual actor. So that's happening with a lot of the big budget movies now is they'll scan an actor's face. And in case they need to, I mean, look, if an actor dies,
But doesn't the actor sign off on that?
Yeah, no, the actor signs off on it. Yeah. But now, like, one of the things they were supposed to make a movie that James Dean was going to star in, and they licensed the rights to James Dean's likeness in order to make the film. It hasn't. This was years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't get made. But I remember reading that, going like, "Oh, that's the future. You're going to see new movies with classic actors." So we'll see.
I think. I mean, like, I talked about this in the fucking 90s, in the 80s. I was telling my friends, I'm like, someday we're gonna see, you know, Humphrey Bogart, John Wayne, Harrison Ford, and Clark Gable in a brand new movie. You know, I mean, like, it's unstoppable. And Matt Damon, and Matt Damon. Yeah. The AI thing, is it worth striking over right now? Especially when you sign your contract for your movie actor, adult pretender, it says it right there. You can say no. So there's a lot of you know what? This is what happens with your Uber, and I'm talking to Hollywood now, not you in the chat, by the way. When I mean you, I mean Hollywood, those within the industry. Being reliant on these giant corporations that, you know, the studios weren't giant corporations all the time. They all got swallowed up by giant corporations, and now they're run like corporations, which doesn't really work with creativity. The only future Hollywood has, movies have, TV, or it's not even going to be TV. I use the term TV, but it'll be like webisodes, is to fragment it, to decentralize it. I know this is music to Chris's ears. And more independent, like, because like the gatekeepers are falling, and right now they're fighting over who's going to gatekeep stuff, when you could just, if you're a good writer, you can just go on your own. Brandon Sanderson, right? The dude who finished The Wheel of Time. Did I get his name right? I'm not. He came out and said, I think that he came out and called the Rings of Power mediocre, which is basically him calling it shit because he's a good Mormon. But yeah, he went out on his own, did pretty fucking well with his crowdfunding. And you know, if you don't need to be on that teat anymore, no, there's no net. But guess what? There never was. Your minimum pay, whatever you're going to get from the negotiations, isn't going to pay any fucking rent in LA unless you have 10 roommates in a studio. What's the average rent in Hollywood right now?
Oh my God, about $3,000.
And it's a fucking hellhole. I just drove through it.
Like a one bedroom?
That's
like
one bedroom or studio.
One bedroom, yeah, studios. It's like you're looking between $2,500 and $3,000.
When I
live on the outskirts, you know. So, yeah, it's crazy.
When I left San Francisco, I don't know what it is now, but it was approaching $4,000 a month.
Yeah,
it's not crazy to live there.
Insane, especially. Yeah. So I drove through LA to get to that awful airport. And so I saw your tent cities in Beverly Hills, bro. Holy shit. I could not believe it. It's, you know, last time I went there, we drove, you know, I didn't see it, right? But we were driving down roads that I had driven to work every day when I lived there 10 years ago. And it's 1,000 times worse than it was 10 years ago. And it wasn't great 10 years ago either, but it's 1,000 times worse. LA is so
awful. It's terrible.
Yeah. You can make, they're starting to make stuff in Atlanta now. They're talking about making stuff in Vegas now. They're talking about bringing studios to Texas now. I think that needs to happen. I mean, like, why would you have your studio in the middle of some hellhole while you're paying ungodly amounts of taxes on it for California when you could just fuck this, you know? And a corporation will do that. A studio by itself wouldn't do that, but a corporation where the studio is a subsidiary will do that. So we'll see what happens.
This is why I laugh when I see Gavin Newsom make an attempt to be a national political figure.
I know.
And I've talked to so many people like, why did the recall fail? I don't think I knew anyone that wasn't voting yes on the recall.
Mail-in ballots.
Yeah, yeah. It's disheartening that this is a strategic move that's being used in a way that's disingenuous, I believe. It's very disingenuous. It's not a real reflection of how the people feel. And when you see, the best thing that gives me faith is reading the comments whenever I see Gavin Newsom say some arrogant thing like about how great California is, and then people in the comments from California keep him honest and say, no, please don't turn the country into California. There's so many things that it's basically two cities that are very liberal in a way that's destructive. And you know what they are. It's LA and San Francisco. And the state kind of runs by the opinions of people that are still there, I guess.
The
But
campaign ad will be easy. You just show all the video of the trains getting ransacked. Do you remember the train tracks were just covered with stuff because once the train stopped, people were raiding the trains, and Amazon was like, we're not going to ship stuff through there anymore if you don't fix this right now. Just go down 6th Street in San Francisco today. Go through the Tenderloin today. Go through downtown LA. You don't even have to go to fucking Skid Row. Go anywhere in LA today, and that will be your campaign ad against Gavin Newsom. And no comment. You just show that stuff without a single word, and say, "Do you want this to be your town?" Maybe that's what you say. And we're seeing it right now, and it's bad. At lifelong California, never thought I'd leave. Never thought I'd leave. I love that state, but it's not the state I grew up in anymore. It's crap. But let's look at the trailer for Secret Invasion. Now, our friend RMB has seen the scripts for these, and he says they're really good. I will believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
I love you, Robert. I will believe that when I see it. And I'm very, 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 very skeptical that Marvel can make anything good. I think it'll be Emilia Clarke leading around Samuel Jackson like a whipped pup for the entire series. It will be her series and not his. And this is probably the last time we're going to see Nick Fury, a character that they just completely destroyed. In one little line of dialogue that the directors will say, male and female directors for Captain Marvel, just thought it was really cute and funny to say he loses his eye from a kitty cat. Yeah, like that's the shit that's killing Marvel. It's like the cutesy putesy flurgin blurg, whatever the fuck. I don't care. Instead of like, wouldn't you rather have seen a Marvel movie where he takes on like Ronan the Accuser and it's a proper Ronan, from like Guardians? That would have been rad. But no. We needed to show slow motion scenes of young Captain Marvel standing up after being knocked down, because girls can stand up after they've been knocked down, because I think I got that.
Times are changing.
You said the title of the studio very correctly. You said Marvel, like the French girl.
Yes, Marvel is the name of Captain Marvel. It is Marvel.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yes. So
Ding,
Captain
ding.
Marvel, the male Captain Marvel that they turned into Annette Bening. Oh wait, I've got a clip for that somewhere. Here it is.
The funny thing about the negabands on the TV show is that they're actually meant to be a big callback to the OG version of Captain Marvel, the very first version, who was a man called Mar-Vell, who did appear during the Captain Marvel movie in the MCU, but he was played by Annette Bening, so they changed the character just a little bit. What the fuck? But he was played by Annette Bening, so they changed the character just a little bit.
Just a little bit, guys. Just
a
a
wee
tad.
bit.
They removed his dick and gave him boobs. It's a little change.
Should join the XWings.
Yeah. Annette Bening. She was supposed to play Catwoman.
Wow.
Was it her? Yeah, she was. God, it's been so long. She was supposed to play Catwoman, and she either got pregnant or injured. And I know Sean Young wanted to play Catwoman back in the as well, and she freaked out Burton because she was weird. But Annette Bening was supposed to play Catwoman, and didn't. Michelle Pfeiffer was a legend in that role. Okay, let's see this.
That invasion is here, Rhodey. And we can't even tell who the invaders are.
This is a ticking time bomb. And it was you who lit the match.
What's up? It's Nick Fury's fault. If this is Nick Fury. Now, this would be a very clever way to retcon the entire MCU by making everybody a fucking Skrull. Okay, this is just a way to do it. They won't, but they could. Will Nick Fury end up being a Skrull by the end of this? Could be. This could actually, like, Secret Invasion is a great concept. It started out as a great concept in the comics too. Didn't end it like most of the big events end kind of, they're disappointing to say the least, but they're really good concepts. And that you could have a lot of fun with. But I have a feeling Amelia Clark will lead him around. Just saying. You can hit play.
Much. You're the most wanted man on the planet. Well, Mama always said I was special. Nick Fury in Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion, streaming June 21st, only on Disney Plus.
Only on Disney Plus. Only on D Plus. So they said Nick Fury in Secret Invasion. Look, we do have men that we can still emasculate on Disney Plus.
Dude.
We've got one dude. We're going to chop those balls off on Disney Plus.
Disney does have a way of feminizing every brand that they've acquired. It's like a weird sort of Borg collective thing. Like they'll take something that's great. I just think this is also just true of corporations. There are very few corporations out there that are able to have like an identity or just a vibe that is very non-corporate. There are attempts at that, but for some reason, things always get corporate. I blame every HR department for that. HR departments it was always like, to me, whenever like there would have to be a meeting with the HR department, and believe me, I've had many, it's always something stupid. And it's always, you can sort of see through what they're actually trying to say, which isn't anything about you. It's about protecting, protecting some legal aspect of the company. It's always about that. So I've always despised any interaction with an HR department. It's just so freaking annoying.
Yeah. I have to. What Tesla?
Did you have to go to HR for Tesla?
I had to go to HR because a mechanic didn't secure the female mechanic didn't secure the battery correctly, and it almost fucking fell off its rack. And yeah, I got a little mad.
Why did you have to go to there? That person,
because I said, "What the fuck are you doing? You could get somebody killed." That's why I had to go to HR.
Oh wow! How did that resolve?
I refused to sign it. Nothing got resolved because they put the paper in front of me. I'm like, I ain't signing that shit.
Good.
That's why you get younger people. That's why they preferred younger people, because I don't have to sign that. Oh, you gonna fire me? Okay.
Good.
And they didn't. Then so
all the power is in your hands.
They're unsigned for until I quit. So yeah, I can be kind of a dick, but like, dude, she was on her fucking phone all the fucking time. She was not paying attention. Yeah. So I just said what everybody was thinking. That's all. And it wasn't that bad, It's not an HR issue by saying, what the fuck are you doing? It's and they called me in because I used an F word. So yeah, that was, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. That trailer looks
I don't know. It looks fine. I mean, what I've heard is that the scripts are phenomenal. The scripts are excellent, but they've changed them a lot. And so I don't think it's going to be very good in the end.
No, God dang it. I left my phone downstairs. I'll paraphrase what I was told. That pretty much every Marvel production that isn't, it doesn't matter. Every Marvel production will be shut down, and if it hasn't been already during the strike. We've heard about many. I think they're going through with Daredevil, but they must be doing a different process with that, because I was told specifically that the way Marvel does things, they can't work through a WGA strike because they don't have finished scripts.
Yeah.
They rewrite everything on the fly. So, and that's again, it's a producer problem. That's where I'll side with the writers, is like, these things are so overly produced because Marvel doesn't use showrunners. They don't have they have head writers, but they don't have showrunners. It's a big difference. Because Kevin Feige wants to be completely in charge. And isn't it funny that crazy, whacked out Amy Pascal sounds like she's on Xanax all the time, schooled Marvel with Spider-Man, with a Miles Morales movie with a bunch of Spider-Man cameos, but it did well. And they still can, like, Disney cannot just get it right. Sony's like, believe me, Sony will return to sucking when we get the Madam Web movie and the fucking Craven movie. Those are going to be shit. But they seem to like take their time with the Spider-Man franchise, which, no matter what, I'm going to spoil a little bit. I'm doing a quick review for Nerdrotic Daily. It's kind of it's a difficult movie to review because it doesn't have an end. It's just a middle part. It's a middle part to something. It's a second act. That's all it is, but it doesn't really have a solid end other than to be continued. But like, they took their time with it. They made quality animation. And if the movie was an hour shorter, and if they could get out of their own fucking way with the agenda shit that would just stop stuff dead, and like too many scenes with the fucking mom. Because I watched it again last night because I wanted Nerdrotic Jr. wanted to go see it, and he enjoyed it. But the shadow of Peter Parker is over that whole thing, and the whole thing, it looks like, and this is going to bother me by the end, is like they're trying to. It's a meta commentary. No, there's no debate about this. It's a meta commentary on getting Miles Morales out of from under the shadow of Peter Parker. That's what it is. The problem is the fact that you centered your whole movie to be a meta commentary about getting out from under the shadow of Peter Parker means you can't get out from under the shadow of Peter Parker. So don't even fucking try. Don't even try. Give him a different name. That would be great if they ended the trilogy with, I'm not gonna use the Spider-Man name anymore. I'm gonna be my own. I want to do my own thing, like you said in the movie. But you're not. You're fighting Spider-Man villains. You are fighting other Spider-Men who are all derivative of the one and only Peter Parker. I trigger a lot of people when I put the Miles Morales as Miles Morales, which is factually true. The other thing that's factually true is he's just another Spider-Man like Miguel O'Hara, who is kind of the best thing in the movie. So other than that, I agree with Az. That introduction was fucking terrible. But he's the best thing in the movie. Did you like? I stayed away from other reviews because I was going to do my little one, but I don't know. What'd you think, Chris?
What did I think of what we just saw?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, the Spider-Verse. Oh no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of the things that were bothering other people just didn't bug me. But every review says this, and I'm so tired of it. Why are the running times of movies so long? There's so much you could have cut. There's so much, and it's like at least it didn't feel long. Like Little Mermaid just felt interminable.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Spider-Verse. I think I mean, Miles Morales isn't Peter Parker 100%. It's just not that character, which is why it kind of doesn't bug me. It's also a cartoon, and I don't consider this is maybe I don't think cartoons really matter to me.
No, I wouldn't count it. I will say they've done the multiverse better than anything. So like that was like the one thing they did a little better. It's ridiculous, but it's a ridiculous concept that probably lends itself to animation more.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It lends itself to animation. It's I thought it was clever. I mean, how can you take this seriously when you have characters like Spider Pig and Spider Punk? I actually like the sort of Bollywood Spider-Man that was Indian. I thought that was
Spider-Man India. Well, that was in the comics. They did that was I sold it.
Yeah. I thought that was fine.
And you know what? It sold like 8-9 copies off the shelf.
Yeah.
That's how much it sold. I mean, it was fine. Like that stuff is fine. But when T-Rex Spider-Man, it's like my kid pointed out something that that I didn't catch as much. Like I caught it once, but he caught like 6 times. He's like, did everybody forget they have spider sense?
Right.
In that movie, there's a bunch of people getting snuck up on. There's a bunch of spider people getting snuck up on, and that should not happen unless it's Venom. So Vulture sneaks up on Spider-Man 2099. Spider Gwen gets snuck up on. Miles gets snuck up on by another Miles. That shit shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Very convenient. So my son was pissed about it. He's like, what the hell? Where's the spider sense? And there's like, the theater was pretty crowded yesterday. So I'm like, shh, quiet. It's good that you're getting upset though, but tone it down a little bit, okay?
You're like, I'm a proud dad moment.
I'm a proud dad, but like, be quiet. Just be a little more quiet about it. I think it was fine. It could have been it could have been 45 minutes shorter. The huge intro with Spider Gwen at the beginning was completely unnecessary. You could have done that in a minute, maybe 2, but that was like 15 minutes. And then it goes into the opening credits, and then you get to Miles, and then they do his thing, which was far more interesting when, they wanted to make it her movie too.
Right.
That's the thing. They got a little too self-indulgent, in my opinion. It's still doing very well. I would argue it would do better if it was shorter. It would probably be doing better, and I would probably like it more. I give it a 7 out of 10. It just gets in its own way. BLM stickers, that's like fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like stuff like that because it kind of just it takes away the timelessness of it. I'm sure that seemed to make sense when they were making it a couple of years ago, but it doesn't make sense now, especially when that organization has been exposed to be corrupt in the way that they dispensed funds. And there's the assumption that every Black person is behind that organization. I can tell you definitively that's not true. So you risk when you sort of add that sort of those political elements and sprinkle them in. I think it dates the film. So I don't like that aspect. The thing is this, I didn't even notice it. It had to be like, I didn't see it. There was so much happening on screen. I was more concerned about, are we going to see the Electric Company version of Spider-Man? Because that's how deep cut, like everything was going, like certain like Spider-Man that were based on like action figures, the Spider Buggy.
There was a bunch of action figures from the animated series represented, but there wasn't Spider-Man from the animated 94 animated series. We got the Spectacular Spider-Man, which made my son very happy. We didn't get the MTV Spider-Man. There was a lot that were missing that maybe they're saving, for the next one.
It was great because for me it was kind of fun. It was like almost like a Where's Waldo of like, okay, well, there's this Spider-Man and there's this, like, if you're just and what's interesting about it, I had this thought after because I watched I don't know, obviously I watch FNT. But I was thinking about it, and the way I see that they're using Spider-Verse is the idea that anyone can be Spider-Man. anyone, you know, a pregnant woman on a motorcycle, a T-Rex. I mean, yeah, as dumb as you think it is. And you know what it reminds me of? So I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, it's now ridiculous. I can't take this movie too seriously. Having said that, it reminds me of that there's every version of Barbie. Like they'll do a Barbie, okay, and it's a Barbie of like Barbie's the president, Barbie's the head of a corporation. This is this Barbie, astronaut Barbie, that. And it's like that's kind of what they're doing with Spider-Man. Like Barbie can be anything, Spider-Man can be anyone. And that's fine for a self-contained 3 cartoons.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. I think eventually though they are going to bring Miles Morales into like live action. Like that's just coming. I mean, it's inevitable after this is over. That Miles Morales will be in maybe a different, and it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I think that Miles Morales reminds me of the things I liked about Peter Parker. You know, like he's just a kid. You know, he's kind of a screw up. He's trying to balance like Spider-Man duties, and he is a boy. He's not Spider-Man in this. I really don't think he's Spider-Man. He's earning it at the moment. He's on that journey. He's a kid who has family problems and life problems and girl problems. The thing that is ridiculous though is this thing where they're trying to say that like Gwen Stacy is trans. Like where did you get that? Like just because of one poster in the background, and now it's like dumb. It's people reading stuff into it where they just make it about like how they'd like to see it, which I think is stupid. There's an essay about the Matrix being about a trans journey, which I would actually buy easier just because of the people who made it. You know, the Wachowski brothers, which became the Wachowski sisters.
But that's like their third version of what the Matrix was about since it came out.
Exactly.
So, you know,
who knows? I'm just saying you can. I actually enjoy like sort of like it's like sort of, you know, film essay critique fantasy land of like, okay, well, debate with me, you know, try to convince me that this is real. I think there's like no like that's such a dumb theory. I can't believe
that Gwen is a trans icon. That would mean Miles is gay.
I guess it's just so dumb. It's you know,
is Miles Morales gay? Is that should that be my next tweet?
Do it. You know, if Gwen Stacy is, then it's an if-then statement.
That will be a funny thought experiment on Twitter.
Do it.
All right, hang on. I got to get the Kotaku.
Oh no.
Here we go. So
oh yeah, grab
He's going to do it.
Oh no, Gary. You're gonna break your Twitter.
Morales is gay.
Oh no.
Hang on. I just got to make sure I'm spelling everything right. Okay. I always check that, you know. Got my little Quillbot grammar checker, you know, because I was kicked out of 3 high schools. I'm just checking. Hey, I'll read a super chat while I'm checking. Farir Samra on the Streamlab side for $50. Says, between drinkers, maulers, asses, and your podcast, my weeks are becoming far more bearable. Oh, that's awesome. Question: top 5 comic stores. Oh, mine are Green Lantern. Oh, stories. Sorry, my bad. Story. Mine are Green Lantern, Jeff Johns. That's good. Super God, Warren Ellis. Kingpin. Is it King in Black? Donnie Cates, and God of Thunder, Jason Aaron. Annihilation, Dan Abnett. Annihilation, Dan Abnett would be in my. You're talking about like storylines. I'd have to think about that. But the Elektra Saga, Frank Miller, Annihilation, Planet Hulk, Greg Pak, even though he's a complete weirdo. I'll have to get back to you. That's something I have to think about. That requires a show, but you know what? We'll do a show on that. We'll do that in a real BBC. Once we finish Doctor Who, Az and I will do our top 5 comic storylines. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck, guys. This is your fault, Chris.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
I just can't wait to see those replies.
Oh no. Gary.
Should I do it? I'm about to hit tweet.
I wonder what's worse. Is Miles Morales the Miles Morales is Miles Morales one or this one?
Oh, the chat totally wants me to do it because they want to see my Twitter go down in flames.
About to. No, Gary. No.
Scared? I'm scared.
Wait, you told me to do it. Now you're saying no?
No. I'm not. I'm just I can't stand those kind of Twitter arguments. I stay out of them. I'm just like,
oh, I'll ignore it. I mean, like I'll tweet this and forget all about it in 10 minutes. But I mentioned
Great.
what usually happens is nobody catches this for 48 hours and it hits some Reddit thing. And I'm just asking a question. Like, I don't know. I'm new to this world. It frightens and scares me. I'm just asking a question, an innocent question. Here we go. Fuck it. Let's go.
Do it.
I'll be on the road, not paying attention to Twitter for a couple days, so it doesn't matter.
I predict they're going to write an article about your tweet.
I'm just asking a question. Yes or no would suffice.
Right.
It's Pride Month. I'm just like, is he a gay icon now? Okay, good. Don't listen to Frank Gore. They said, don't listen to Frank Gore. Hey, Frank still has a good 40 time. Okay, that's what I hear on the streets when he's not judging Star Wars.
Right.
When he's not judging Star Wars. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably get in trouble for that. Good. Delta 23 for $20. Sure love that Dave Filoni waifu from an overrated CGI show stealing Luke's story. Can't wait to see her make out with race-swapped Mara Jade. Oh, dude. Don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any ideas. Oh, the Acolyte, man. The freaking Acolyte is going to be a disaster. A beautiful disaster. That is going to be the Marvels, but maybe worse for Star Wars. But Star Wars is already dead. Goju Ko TM has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Cheers. F's in the chat for my Twitter. No, it's still
In 48 hours.
a good thing I don't give a
I
shit.
still have 2 good days.
Angela Richter has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Gremlin. How do I say that last name?
Anku, I think.
Gremlin Anku has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Holy shit.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. You might get some bonus Gollum play, members. Well, you will. You're going to get some. It's not a might. It's you're going to get some. But just what you always wanted. Christina. Cheers. Thank you. Christina has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $5.
25.
That statement would now get me arrested in Ireland, i.e., no such thing as trans. Oh, that state saying something like that?
Oh.
Well, it all depends if it's a manual or automatic transmission. That's what
Probably
I
in Canada too, to be honest.
Oh God. Well, no, they'll just euthanize you there. Saw Dog has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25 as well. Thank you. Ian So Forth has gifted 10 for $50. And Shake from Hunger Team. What's up, Shake? Met him in Vegas. Has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Cheers, brother. We got some questions. Nerds and Normies for $5. Gary, play the Campia clip. Open mic video from June 2nd, 48-minute, 33-second mark. I'll you want to scan that real quick, X-Ray Girl? So go to John Campia's open mic. Are you messing with John in his thing?
First of all, you need to check that clip. Make sure he's not talking about coming on anyone's face. I just
you almost want to sit John down and go, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't that serious. This is fucking content creating. We're a bunch of fucking morons. That's the whole part. Like, if people roast you, if people get a little salty in your comments, let them be. Let them be. Like, for one, if you don't feed the trolls, right? If people are in there trolling, for one, the world needs trolls. It does. They serve an actual purpose in this world. They keep the levity going on. Some go much further than others, but for the most part, like, it's all good fun. That's the way I see it. If people are in your comments, talking about Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon, not looking like a Viking, they're just telling the truth. She doesn't look like a Viking, and if this was the only case of it, or if it was a rare case, not that many people would be bringing it up, but there is a meme going around that needs to be updated constantly of all the red-headed characters that have been race swapped, and it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. So it would be ridiculous not to point it out at this point. And if you just think pointing a casting change that was clearly done because of race as racism, then you're about as smart as I thought you were, John. To be honest with you, which is not smart at all. But still, it's like, no, if you're like, we can't cast a blonde woman from the hit movie because of we need to be more inclusive. So we're going to be inclusive by excluding people. That's called racism. I mean, it might be difficult for John. Probably hasn't worked hard a day in his life. And I'm talking like 40-hour a week job. Had to go out there and like pay his bills, scrap, pay for a $500 a month fucking cockroach infested apartment like I did back in the day. I doubt he's ever gone through things like that. Stuff that builds character. Glad I did it, by the way. It sucked, but I'm glad I did it. Help me appreciate other things. Helps you appreciate things. But like to go through and not recognize, like, that's what we're calling out. Like, Hollywood is got the collective mentality of a fucking 5-year-old. Okay. They just have a lot of money and a lot of power, but they're not very smart. Especially when they race swap, they only do it with one. Are there any other races out there? I mean, it's almost like we're into the Latino decade from Hollywood. And then maybe we'll get to the, they'll throw some people a bone once in a while, but it proves their racism every fucking time. Like, it's when we can start predicting it, when it's as predictable as the sun coming up at the west is like, oh, there's going to be a remake of an animated movie. Well, they're going to race swamp this character. Boom, they do it. That proves our point. I'm sorry it upsets you to be wrong. I'm not. Antipathy 17 for $5. 5 for Gore. Attack of the Show. RIP. Respect, Chris.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, because I bought it on Amazon Prime. It pops up every time I pull up my Amazon Prime now. Attack of the Doc.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's great. I love it.
Wait until you see the Blu-ray, dude. I should just bring it.
You have a copy that's ready?
I have a copy. I have a check disc of the movie.
Oh, well, we can do a screening at the house.
Well, I can just show you with the Blu-ray,
Yeah, I want to see it. I definitely bring it.
Okay, cool. I'll bring it. I'll bring it.
You have a backup, right? That's not your only one.
Well, no, I mean, it's going to the replicator, having to write a huge check now for all the Blu-rays. I have no idea how it's going to do. No idea how many people are going to order it. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. If you ever need a Blu-ray produced, let me know, Gary. I know a little thing about that. I produced a few DVDs here and there. So
maybe I'm going to get through with the first project that you started me on, which again is your fault. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh.
Right.
That's the secret project I'm working on. I have a meeting about it this Monday. And you all will find out about it around November.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Baba Booey. Oh, Baba Booey for $5. Oh, that's part 2. Where's part 1? There we go. I got part 1. Hail Nerdrotic for $10, by the way. I certainly like your cut. G, you're the voice of several generations, an absolute point of fan advocacy. You mentioned on multiple occasions that the MCU shouldn't have used Thanos before the acquisition of Fantastic Four and X-Men. Yes, they should have. Well, they should have found a way to work with them. They shouldn't have killed Thanos. Like that would be like, you defeat him, you don't destroy the stones. They fucked that up. You shouldn't have killed Iron Man and Captain America. I'm curious, whom would have used instead of the Mad Titan? Korvac, MODOK, Masters of Evil, someone else entirely? And how would you have gone about it for a similar 10-year buildup? I would have still gone with Thanos. I just wouldn't have killed him. You know? Yeah. But you could use Annihilus, and that would have opened the door for bringing in the X-Men and Fantastic Four later, by the way. But no, Thanos, you had to use Thanos. I understand that. You had to. But he's also not the end-all, be-all. There's other people that are worse. Mephisto is somebody I'd go to afterwards. Like Mephisto, you could make like incredibly evil. And like, and I know in a lot of cases, people think Thanos is worse than Mephisto, but you can make Mephisto worse. Much worse. And then you can lead to Galactus, and then, you know, even though he's human, Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom's
the best. I think Doctor Doom's the best. Doctor Doom should be the next big bad. But Doctor Doom and Galactus. So, but
there's easily a way you could defeat Thanos and just said, well, he's gone for now.
Right.
We've beat him for now. We've saved the world for now. Because they've done that quite a bit in comic books. So that's what I would have done. I wouldn't have like Disney. There's a lot of people in entertainment who think that because they don't understand that these masks are just interchangeable. They're all mantles to be passed, which is just not the case. And they're about to find out. Matches Peaches for $5. Did you see Taika's speech on Hollywood Reporter YouTube channel? How to use Chat GPT with no shame and blame colonization for your diversity issues. I saw what he said about the strike. He said he didn't sound very enthusiastic about it. He said, I hope they get what they want, or I hope we get what they want and we win. That was his statement. He's been saying a lot of stuff. I did see Chris Hemsworth come out and basically say Thor Love and Thunder was shit in a very nice way, saying it got a bit silly, but it was shit. Mr. Parker, thank you for gifting 1 Nerdrotic membership. I appreciate it. Thank you. How are we doing? I'm checking on time. Because I know you got to get to court. You got to get ready for court. You got to wash your gown.
Get your gavel.
Golden BMXer for $20. I love Ghost Rider and Spider-Man, but if Miles Morales can't be Spider-Man, what about Danny Ketch or Robbie Reyes? I enjoy both writers and Jazzy Blaze. What do you think the mantle requirement for a mantle for a character is? Well, good stories is the requirement for a mantle passing. So Wally West, damn good Flash. The mantle was successfully passed. Danny Ketch was a good Ghost Rider. The mantle was successfully passed. Robbie Reyes, that was not successfully passed. So I will say no, that is not a Ghost Rider, a successful passage of the Ghost Rider. People might want it to be, but it's not. It's not. Danny Ketch had a good fucking run in the 90s of best-selling comic books that people liked. That's how the mantle gets passed. You tell a good story, you pass the mantle. It's really that fucking simple. They have yet to pass the mantle from Peter Parker. In the comic books, no Miles Morales story stands out that's not directly connected to Peter Parker Spider-Man. He does not stand out on his own. He's got a good costume. Don't really hate the character. I think there's a lot of great things you could have done, including what I've said a million times. You make him Spider-Man's sidekick for a little while. And then you could turn him into like a Robin Nightwing kind of thing. Give him a different.
That would be cool.
Yep. Spider-Man had never had that. And I would have preferred that over him joining the Avengers, having like a gazillion derivatives. And now the character is just utterly watered down and meaningless, but there never, ever is going to be another Peter Parker. Like I said, with Miles Morales, talk to me in 75 years, 65 years. Talk to me in 6 decades of best-selling fucking comic books, and then we can have a conversation. Until that happens, Peter Parker is king. On Clarkson Farm, actually, the heat likely came from UK government of the badgers and the waste of money. Apparently, the magistrates' phones were ringing nonstop because Clarkson uncovered abuse of power and taxes. I don't think Amazon would have given a fuck about that, Lady Greymaster. Thank you for the $20. You're not supposed to be donating. I really think it was the Meghan Markle thing because they that's what they said. That's what they said.
Really? That doesn't make sense because nobody likes her. I mean,
I know. Clarkson Farm is exposing a lot of government bullshit, like a lot, but it's also helped the farmers. So maybe that's why they're canceling it, because like it's really brought attention to farmers and how much fucking bullshit they go through and how necessary they are to like our life, because we need to eat and they provide that. So you might maybe. But yeah, Meghan Markle, nobody likes her, Chris.
Yeah.
Does anybody really like her?
She's insufferable. She's just a victim. Oh my God. She's just so annoying. First of all, I have never, this is the thing that does annoy me sometimes, is a lot of things annoy me, but this in particular, there are things I don't care about that I know about. And I wish I didn't even know about them. And that's, Meghan Markle is one of them. Never cared about the royal family. It's fine that they exist. It's a tourist attraction. Fine. Tradition. Fine. Keep the royal family going. If it sells postcards and trips to the UK, great. Never cared. Don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't affect my life. But I see Meghan Markle pop up. And a lot of like gossipy, whenever like a YouTube channel gets too gossipy, and I say gossipy, whether it's like internal YouTube stuff or like gossip just about people, I don't care about that kind of stuff. I don't care. Only if it directly relates, let's say, to something like, I don't know, Marvel or Star Wars or something that I do care about or used to care about.
As it concerns a bit like Jonathan Majors, like,
right.
I mean, I really hope he didn't hit a woman and I hope he gets a fair trial. But I'm more concerned about how it affects the overall MCU, like interpersonal shit. Don't really care. I totally agree with you.
Exactly. It reminds me of that old Dave Attell joke. I know which one. I know you know the one I'm referencing.
Yeah.
Dave Attell says, the first thought when you see a woman at a bar and she has a black eye, doesn't listen. You never heard that joke?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my.
What do you tell a woman? This one's going to be bad. What do you tell a woman with 2 black eyes?
I don't know.
Nothing. You haven't told her twice already.
Oh no.
They're terrible, awful, sexist, misogynist jokes. And they're jokes. Don't hit women. It's fucking lame.
Oh, yeah, don't hit women.
You're a pussy. You're a giant fucking pussy if you do that. But we can joke about it. But no, you're a giant fucking pussy if you hit women. You got no fucking balls. You got no dick. You're not a man. Star Trekker 58 for 20 Australian dollars. Gary, how dare you? Got up to pee. I could leave it there. Now, rewound the stream and it's 4 a.m. Holly Dumb should be careful what they teach you. I can't see myself on screen, so I can't watch your shows. I like John Carter too. Yep. It's too bad I couldn't enjoy. Oh, wait, I did enjoy the Miles Morales movie, although I can't see myself as a 15-year-old Puerto Rican black teenager from an alternate dimension. I somehow managed to enjoy the movie for the most part. It's got problems. It's got some big problems, which could lead to bigger problems. Allison Eduardo Coito for 22 Brazilian pesos. Gary, there's no chance of you interviewing Kevin Feige or another minor head in Disney Marvel. I think it would be great if there's some communication. I'm asking you just to be clear how difficult it is. Hail from Brazil. I am in communication with people who've worked at Marvel. I am. People have reached out to me, and I am in communication. We talk. It's not going to be anything like Chris. I don't get involved in I'm not really big on the gossipy stuff either, the TMZ stuff. I also for one, they wouldn't come on the channel. They couldn't. They would lose their job, which sucks.
Yeah.
So that's on the corporations. That's not on me. And I'm not going to risk anybody's job. Like, even if if I thought for a minute they would lose their job by coming on my channel, I'm like, don't do it. Don't. We'll just talk. It's fine. If they're ready to come out, like, I don't give a fuck about my fucking job, and we're there. Okay. But honestly, they need to come out on their own to other outlets, and some have, but mostly, I just talk behind the scenes because it's good to know. I like to have as much information as possible, see if I'm getting anything wrong, like the writer's strike video. I talked to a bunch of people about that. And I could have gone on another half hour in that video. There's so much to it.
It was like a mini documentary. It was so good, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Also, well, another thing, this kind of not connected to the super chat, but like getting super self-referential on the channel is not what I'm about. It's not about, like, on FNT we'll have inside jokes and stuff, but that's where I'll keep it. Like, I don't want to get super self-referential. I've always wanted to be about, like, the information, the reviews, the stuff, not me. So, it's great that people reach out, but I always kind of tell them, like, it'll be better if you went out and said it, but we're not in that place. Hollywood is too strict. It is a toxic work environment. It is like the very definition of it. Because if you can't speak freely, I mean, in a normal manner at your job about, like, your personal politics, because one party has been just painted with this broad brush that is completely unfair, completely disingenuous, and divisive to this country, then yeah, it's a shitty place to work. So maybe it just needs to not exist. Maybe it just needs to very naturally be fragmented, not mandated by a government, but just customers eventually walking away. Because I don't go to Disneyland, right? But I'm not a Republican. I'm not a registered Republican. If I was a registered Republican, I would never set foot in a fucking Disneyland because they fucking hate you. Across the board, they hate you. They don't hate just some of your issues. They hate all of your issues.
Dude, Gary, this is so frustrating. I never remember things being so divided where you hate someone because they think differently or they practice a different religion. Even where I grew up in Michigan, I had a friend who was Jewish. I had a friend who went to Seventh-day Adventist. I can't imagine that. Like, who teaches that? How is that even? Did the people have self-awareness to go, like, to think to themselves, like, where's this hate coming from? I've seen people I've known for years saying things on social media that I just can't believe, including, like, even like actors where I'm just like, what is the upside of you even saying this publicly? And again, I've pointed out several times, you're probably annoyed when I bring it up. When you brought up the term in 2018, I never forgot political bigotry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see it until you brought it up. And now when I see it, it's anyone sowing the seeds of division in the country over, there's many things that we can be divided over, right? But like, to make it that you hate someone because they think a certain way, that's just not the way I've ever thought. I have always just respected other people's views. And then, we find areas of connection. Maybe we like the same, maybe we're both fans of the Detroit Lions. I know there's probably no one out there, or maybe we both like a comic book character, whatever it is. Like, to me, there are more things that unite us than divide us. And I see so many forces, and social media, I think, is the center of this. That is the toxin that has infected people's minds, including the current day climate. And it's sickening to see happen in real time. It's just sickening. And so bravo to you for pointing it out. And I cannot support anyone that continues to push division over anything, whether it be gender, ethnicity, whatever. Like, I don't even care. Look, have a different opinion from mine about the new Spider-Verse movie. Who gives a shit? I prefer to listen to opinions with which I disagree, just because I think, well, maybe there's something there I can learn. But it's really frustrating. And I just, living through this time right now is
yeah.
How's your tweet doing, Gary? I want to see how many articles have been written. We should look.
It's fine now. It usually is with all Miles Morales tweets. It's like a couple of days.
Oh, okay.
It's a couple of days. Like if I scroll down to my, I believe I said, I just said the same thing twice. I'm sorry. The first, no, see, that one's fine. I think I said the Miles Morales movie had a lot of Spider-Man cameos in it.
Oh, that's a
and they got pissed about that one. So, but that was like 3-4 days ago, And I said the first Miles Morales movie is better than the second Miles Morales movie, which I completely believe. I like the first one much better. I like the second one. I said it's fine. It's 7 out of 10. It's a fine movie. It's okay. So yeah, it's no, I'm not getting ratioed or anything. It's doing all right. 781 likes, 103. I don't know how many quote tweets are. 21 quote tweets. Yeah, I'm fine. Get Chris, promise you. We'll check it Friday before FNT.
Oh, good.
And it will be a different story. It usually takes a couple of days. I don't know why. I'm guessing Reddit. There's some guy tweeted at me saying, I said Miles Morales is Miles Morales. And then he goes, prove it, motherfucker. So I went to Sideshow to the action figure that said Miles Morales. So I just screenshot that, circled Miles Morales, and put it up and put Miles Morales as Miles Morales. That got 1.3 million views on Twitter, right? And my mentions were fucking filled for days. Calling me a racist and all kinds of shit. I'm just laughing, dude. It's the best thought experiment on Twitter. It just shows you everything wrong with social media. So many people reading their own personal fucking issues into an honest statement that I don't want to ruin the joke, but it's like, I don't hate Miles Morales. I don't. I accept him for what he is. He's a derivative Spider-Man that, has got a really cool costume. The one from the comics is a really cool costume. And the couple of movies have been all right. He's a nothing in the comics, though. Absolute nothing. Like, doesn't move the needle at all. He'll sell some first issues okay, but by the time it gets to 10, 12, it just fades. It fades because they won't put the work into it necessary. Yeah, that's how I feel about Miles Morales. Fine character. It's fine. Should have been Spider-Man sidekick.
He feels like that in this. He doesn't feel like Spider-Man. He's a kid, and I think that Miles Morales is actually very likable in these two movies.
In the movies, they make him. Yeah, they do. The character is very likable.
Yeah, really likable. So, it reminds me of actually the reasons why I liked the original Spider-Man. But he's definitely not like there yet. He's not Spider-Man. And maybe that's the whole point of these 3 cartoons, is to build that character up. And I don't know. I enjoyed the film quite a bit. It was there's a lot of fun things if you're a lifelong Spider-Man fan. There's a lot to like. So, but hey, Gary, unfortunately, I got to get ready for court. So I got to get going. But I leave. First of all, want to thank you for always having me on the Nooner. Want to thank X-Ray Girl for tolerating my inappropriate jokes. I will make an appointment at the Nerdrotic HR department to get another pamphlet for things that I've said. And I also want to say hail to the chat. Thank you to the chat. Whether you agree with me or not, I hope I provided you some entertainment. I hope you'll join me at court in the next hour on the Film Threat YouTube channel. And I'll see you all in Dallas. I will be
very excited for that.
It's going to be fun. I don't know if I should. I do have a cowboy hat I could bring, I guess.
Do it.
Do I want to wear a cowboy hat all weekend? I'm just going to lose it. But whatever. Got a couple cowboy hats. I'm considering it. So Gary, I will see you. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow at the FNT meetup. I will be there. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also we're doing a signing, not a signing. We're doing I think I have a table and I'm going to bring copies of my book.
Yeah, at the meetup.
Oh,
at the meetup. Okay. I brought a bunch of copies of a book I published years ago called Celebrities Poop.
Yes, bring that.
I'm going to bring copies of the book. And I've also got stuff to give away too. I've got, posters and stickers to give away, and I'll bring some patches. So I have Film Threat patches and my Celebrities Poop book, and it'll give me some cash for walking around in Dallas. So thank you, everybody.
To buy one of those.
Oh, okay. Well, X-Ray Girl, I think I can get you a deal.
Oh, nice.
Cool. So I will I'll see you tomorrow, Gary. It's gonna be fun,
dude. I'll see you tomorrow. And get in touch with baby boy.
Yes.
Kennel about
and
tomorrow.
Garrett.
And Quarterback.
Yeah.
Although Quarterback's gonna be busy tonight because I'm gonna give him a video.
Oh, maybe he doesn't know about that yet.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
He does. It'll be a short one. Quarterback. I'll try to get it done. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go pretty soon too. Go, Chris.
Bye,
Love you,
Chris.
man. See you tomorrow,
Love you,
dude. See you tomorrow.
X-Ray Girl. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be cool.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna okay. All right, Gary.
Bye.
Can't wait. It'll be a blast. Later. Take care. Thanks again.
Later,
He'll
brother.
chat.
Did I spell mean right? Does that mean Miles Morales is gay? Is that MEA?
Oh, MEAN, yes. You were still on the language of what?
I was like, I get confused about that.
Let me just I'm just gonna go look at the tweet. Just does that mean Miles Morales is gay? No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah.
You're good.
I never know because I was kicked out of 3 high schools. So fucking true story. So I'm gonna read a few more. I owe you guys a square up, and I'm gonna try to do it from Dallas this weekend, probably late at night. It'll be on Nerdrotic Live, but I'll read a couple more here before I got to jet, record a couple videos, pack, get up early in the morning, fucking drive to Dallas. It's gonna be awesome. Eric July is gonna be there, amongst others. Maybe I don't know. Is Carrie Smith? Are you gonna be there? Are all the Texas people gonna be there? FNT gonna be there? Think before you
I never actually asked her.
I don't know. Is Melanie Mack gonna be there? I gotta all the Texas people to better be there. We'll see. Tell
I know Kara's gonna be there.
Kara's gonna be there. Well, you're all invited. So I
this is your official invite.
This is your official invite.
I think Camelot might be going there too.
Oh, good.
There you go. So
I know there's a lot of Texas people in the area. It'll be it's a safe place, by the way. I'll mention that.
Oh, Carrie will be there.
Cool.
Yay.
This place will be safe.
Yes.
So, yeah, we got your back, everybody. Travis's World has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. A community theme creator for $10. Exode Ghoul. How long are you going to be in Dallas? Are there particular things you want to see or places to go eat? I live 8 miles from the meetup.
I already said it. Buc-ee's, boots, cowboy hat.
There you go.
Very easy.
We'll get to all those places somehow, some way. And if you missed the meetup, we'll be at the Dallas Fan Expo. It's not on the schedule, but we are having a panel at 1:30. I don't think they've updated the schedule, but I don't know where yet, but we will find out soon enough, and we'll tell you like what location within the con the panel is. You got to buy tickets to the con. I will be at the con shopping. I will be shopping at the fucking con. Daredevil's going to be there, but Patty Constantine is not going to be there. He canceled. I was like,
oh,
damn,
no.
that's the one guy I wanted to see.
That sucks.
Yeah, Matthew Hammond on the Streamlab side. Thank you, Matthew, for $20. Says Sisu was great. It was great. It was great. It is the shortest movie I've seen this year with the fewest lines and the best. It was the perfect time and avoided the slowness issues of modern movies. Did it do well in its theater run? Also, a package to Exode Girl is delayed. I Twitter DM'd her a website that has tracking for what I sent her. That's probably because she's in Canada. It's got to go through.
Thank you, Matthew.
Wacky
I know.
commie customs.
Bad.
I think if it made more than 6 million euros, it's made its money back because it only cost 6 million euros to make, which is pretty incredible. XPM for $19.99. Peter bringing his baby to fight is stupid. It's fucking stupid, reckless, and annoying. But I have to admit, the baby pulling down her little knitted spider mask was pretty cute. Yeah, you have her pull her mask down and you go, that's okay, May. You're adorable.
That does.
Daddy's got to go do some serious shit now. Take off that pink robe and the slippers and put on the fucking Spider-Man suit and go. No. And that's a deliberate decision. And it's fucking lame. And it's done to prop up Miles, which if you need to do that, then you can't prop up Miles.
You're not writing them correctly.
And you're not doing Miles any favors. Because I think Miles is likable to be fine on his own. But here's the fact of the matter. Both Miles Morales movies are filled with Spider-Men, Peter Parker Spider-Men, because they felt like they needed it. That was part of his origin. And they're making it all about he doesn't belong. He doesn't belong. I really hope that's not what they end it with. But it looks that way. Back me up. Exode Ghoul. The agenda was super annoying. I totally agree. It was really fucking annoying and fucking up what could have been a great movie and turned it into a good movie. But if they go where I think they're going thematically, I'll fucking hate it. I promise you. I'm interested to see what I want. I want Mahler to watch it. Gabriel Knight for $9.99. I love how Ahsoka sat around and did nothing to help the rebels in the original trilogy, but now conveniently shows up in a D+ show to fight Imperial leftovers and never before seen Jedi who survived the Jedi Purge. Yeah, the late, great Ray Stevenson plays a former Jedi who is now a mercenary. And somebody put on Twitter, sorry, couldn't give you credit. They're like, apparently nobody died in Order 66. Darkress for $5. Overlord DVD has a great interview today. George Lucas might buy Star Wars back. Has a great video interview today. For why? Like, why would he buy it back? It'd be great. I mean, like, it'd be great. But why would Disney sell it? And why would George buy it back? George is almost here. What's his age? George Lucas age.
I don't think Disney would sell it unless it was like a profit on what they bought it for.
1 year away from 80. He is almost 80 years old. So I'm asking you to use your logical minds on this one. Would I want that to happen? Sure. What would come of it? Nothing. He's 80. He's 80. He cashed out. By the way, he's making tons of money off his dividends and stuff. He's made a lot of money. Why would Disney sell it? I mean, to pay off some debt, it wouldn't make enough to pay off their debt. It would be a net loss. So, and usually like companies hold on to IPs like they are like limbs on their body. I can't see it happening, but if it does, be interesting news and great content. Pizza Naz for $10. Hello, Gary. Thank you for all the amazing content. Have you ever been to Amsterdam? I have never been to Amsterdam. I'd like to go. I mean, is there other stuff to do there besides hookers and blow?
Blow?
Yeah, hookers and blow.
It's the grass. I thought that's why people go.
Amsterdam. It's a beautiful city. I just know like a lot of Americans went over there for their debauchery. It's like I want to see, like architecture and stuff. I don't care about the pot and the hookers.
I feel like there's nicer cities, in my opinion, in Europe that are bigger. So
okay,
if you're going for just architecture,
I would definitely check it out. Well, the main reason for my travel from here on out is going to be ancient ruins. End of story.
Egypt.
That's right. We're going to Egypt. Brygon Gin for $4.99. For Chris, an Irish wedding toast. He offered his honor. She honored his offer. So all night long, he was honor and offer. Oh,
that was a good one.
Aaron Pipes for $10. At this point, I don't think anything will get made at Lucas as long as Kathleen Kennedy is there. She loses money and Disney can no longer afford indulging her vanity. But they do. I mean, listen, everybody wanted her fired in 2018. She, by all accounts, should have been, but they didn't. And the reason they didn't, political capital. So they would rather lose a bunch of money than piss off an aging director past his prime, Steven Spielberg, possibly George Lucas. I don't think they're worried about pissing off George Lucas because they did that from the get-go. So it can't be George. It has to be Steven. So all of this is to not piss off Steven Spielberg and maybe avoid a month or two of bad press, like they fired a woman. Well, this woman's incompetent. This woman sucks. That's part of like, you want these big jobs, girls. It comes with a lot of stress and you will get fired if you suck at your job. Happens to dudes all the time. Dudes get to keep their job. No, they don't. Not if they suck this bad. A man would have been fired from Lucasfilm in 2019. Talk about privilege. A dude would have been fucking fired. Benjamin Gonzalez for $1.49. Thank you for the burger super sticker. Thank you very much. Horny Al for $4.99. Gary, I'll be driving to Dallas in the morning. Hey, me too. Hashtag me too. I'll be representing for the Legion of Memers. Hail the Legion of Memers, by the way, at the meetup. Can't wait to meet you all. Can't wait to meet you, Horny Al. Hail, Gary, Chris, and Exude. Marvel gets a lot of well-deserved hate, but if you all had to choose a favorite MCU movie, which one would it be? Mine will be Winter Soldier. Hail. Says Slate Beard for 100 Swedish krona. Well, it's like it's Marvel post Endgame. I like all the Marvel before then to varying degrees. I don't like Ant-Man and Wasp. That's the only one I don't like.
I'd say Avengers for me, because that was like the first of the heroes get together. It was amazing. And you don't get that feeling again in a lot of the movies.
I think the best movie, it's between Guardians and Winter Soldier. Or objectively the best movie. Probably my favorite is The Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fun movie. It's just a fun flick. And it's the best Hulk movie.
Yes.
It is by far the
He's
best.
awesome
Hulk
in
movie.
it.
Yeah. Even though it's got Mark Ruffalo.
He was a real Hulk in it.
Yep. Matt G, thank you for the $1. Fat Steven, what's up? 220. He says, anyone want to buy a Spider Trans narrative? No, No, thank you. Nerds and Normies for $10. I have the idea for a Rey movie. Somehow Rey slips off a cliff. Somehow Luke Skywalker rematerializes from the Force and comes back. He rebuilds the Jedi Order and makes Finn his pupil. That's a way to fix things. You know, they could fix things. They could remake Game of Thrones season 8. They could have done that. They could have just wiped the board with Disney Star Wars. They could have done that, but they didn't because they're afraid to piss each other off. But this is the problem. Now you killed your franchise because you were worried about hurting Rian Johnson or Jar Jar Abrams' feelings or Kathleen Kennedy's or Steven Spielberg, whatever. Oh, okay. So they'd rather not piss each other off. They'd rather piss you off. That's the thing. That's risk aversion created fan attacks and fan baiting. They would rather call you a racist than each other. Zero Cool for $2. X-ray punch Ryan in the balls. Again, by the way, you got to leave that again. All right, we're going to have to end it there. I'll get the rest and square up. Sorry about that, folks. I have a heart out today, but thank you for watching. Really appreciate you. Can't wait to see you in Dallas if I see you then. And we'll be live streaming from the event. Don't know where yet. Maybe Instagram, but probably Nerdrotic Live. Maybe both. Maybe we can do both. I'll get up there tomorrow morning. Chris Gore is going to be there. Eric July is going to be there. Ryan Kinnell's going to be there. Is Drunk going to be there? Drunk 3PO?
I haven't heard anything from Drunk about him going.
He'll be there.
I know Steph will be there. My Nerdy Home.
Be there. My Nerdy Home. You'll be there.
I'll be there. Carrie will be there. Carrie Smith.
Carrie Smith will be there.
Carolyn will be there.
Carolyn will be there. And who else?
MVP will be there.
Maybe some other people will be there. Comics will be there. Christina will be there.
Nick Weiser.
Gonna
be tons of people.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, so excited.
Gonna have a good time. So thanks everyone.
I was gonna say, Kara did send me Geeks and Gabers table. Will be at room D1 level 3 at 1:00. If you are going to the expo. So it is up there on the
Is that the table or the panel?
The panel.
The panel's supposed to be at 1:30.
1:30? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe this is. Do they have another table? Just them? No, your name is on here too. We'll chat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a panel, not a table.
Oh, sorry, a panel. I don't know expo terminology.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's my first expo. Okay, guys.
All right. Yeah. But we'll figure out. Friday Night Tights panel will be me, Ryan. I think there's a mic for you, Chris Gore, Eric. We'll get you up there.
I'll have to be up for long. I feel like there's a joke there.
I'll give you that.
I wasn't even meant to be a joke. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everybody. Christopher Miller, they need to stop with the bullshit and bring back Firefly. Fillion already said he'd do it justice and he's willing to buy the IP. Yeah, but you can't do it without Joss Whedon. There is no Firefly without Joss Whedon. Like him or not, that's just a fact. And I think if Fillion can buy the IP, that's one Disney should just sell. But if they sell anything, I just don't think it would be Star Wars. I don't think it would be Star Wars. I think Pixar is pretty useless without Lasseter. I mean, you already have Disney Animation, so maybe Pixar, but it wouldn't be Star Wars. Not yet, anyway. Things would have to get real bad. Real bad. Okay. No Firefly reboot. Just fucking leave it alone. Don't reboot anything for 10 years.
It'll be ruined if it is.
Be ruined if it is. All right. This will be up on Nerdrotic Live. I gotta start the show with this. So all the Nooners go to Nerdrotic Live. They'll repost it within a couple of hours. They're also going to be on Spotify. So thanks everybody who's listening on iTunes, Spotify, or any other podcast out there. We really appreciate you all. And we will be back next Wednesday with Chris. Friday Night Tights is going to have Eric and Chris.
Eric and Chris, yes.
Okay.
In person.
In person. There you go. George is going to buy Star Wars back for a half what he sold it for, 3D chess. I mean, if he does buy it back, yes, I would not pay it. I'd buy it back for $2 billion. But that's 80-year-old George. So he buys it back to give it to who? Because
he does need someone to give it to, or just work alongside him. Time is not by his side, obviously.
I will wait and see. I've heard many things that did not come to fruition, and I'll believe it when I see it kind of guy. And I haven't heard any musings about that at all. I've just heard Disney's in trouble. Disney's in big trouble, and good. Because Star Wars is dead. So why would, George would buy it back to what? So much damage has been done. George can't fix it. Not even George can fix it. I wish he could. But if he buys it, it will be for a bag of chips. That's what I agree with that. All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time. Say bye, X-Ray Girl.
Bye.